Do your own research, do your own DD, because obviously more research is needed, and take this video with a grain of salt. All right, now let's get down to the video. Starting off with Tesla, and here is the Tesla stock price prediction chart. I got the automobiles here, the credits, the FSD, the energy, and some expenses like the FX currency expense, which does take a big hit on their earnings. So I added here as well. Now we'll go over this chart together as we go forward to figure out some numbers. So let's start off with 2023. In 2023, I'm expecting they're gonna do about 1.85 million vehicle deliveries. How did I get that number? Check it out over here. But with that, I mean, look at all the numbers come in. It's absolutely, I mean, this is amazing. I love it. But what I'm saying here is that 2024 and 2025 is a 40% growth year over year. 2026, 2027 is a 35% growth year over year. And 2028 all the way to 2030 is a 30% growth year over year. And as you guys can see, we're not even reaching 15 million vehicles deliveries by 2030. And I do believe that. I don't think we're going to reach 20 million vehicles by 2030. 2032, yes. 2031, yes. But 2030, I think there's going to be delays with, gigafactory making and models. I mean, look at the Cybertruck. It was supposed to be coming in 2021. Now we're in 2023. So expect more of these delays so you don't have your expectations too high. My expectation is just below 15 million vehicle deliveries by 2030, which is absolutely ridiculous, right? That's a record. Even in 2029, if they do 11 million vehicles, no one has ever sold more than 10.5 million vehicles, and that's Toyota. So if they can reach 11 million vehicles by 2029 deliveries, then sheesh, that's what it is. But don't hate on me, guys. I'm saying 20 million by 2032. So going to average a vehicle sold, the average selling price in 2023, I'm saying 50,000. In 2024, I'm saying 51,000 because of the Cybertruck. In 2025, 50,000, and then 2026, we may see the compact car come our bit, maybe going into a little bit of a mass production, which is 48,000. Same story in 2027, comes down to 47,000. 2028 is a lot more. 2029, 2030 goes down to 38,000 per vehicle being sold. And then we got a total vehicle revenue by 2030, $500 billion. That's absolutely crazy. Like over $500 billion. That's insane in just vehicle sales alone. And that's crazy. And I'm going to give it a 20% operating margin here because, yeah, Tesla is efficient and minimum you should be thinking 20%. Anything below that, you got to think about how Tesla's producing these compact cars. They're doing it in a way that they will have a good amount of profits, at least 30%. If you bring all the costs down and everything, it will come down to a 20% net. So right now we're at 15.4, and maybe this year we're going to be at 14%, as you guys see here. It could be lower if they continue with the price cuts, but I'm saying by 2030, because we're going to have economy of scale, materials are going to be cost less, and I'm betting on economy of scale, man. I mean, 14.5 million vehicles. That means production is maybe at like 16 to 17 million vehicles annually at that rate of deliveries. So 20%, I think, could be actually a conservative number. But with that, we get about over $110 billion in total vehicle profits, which is just absolutely insane. Then we got the credits here. Most people are saying that credits are going to go away as we go forward into the years, but why would they? It's just free money for Tesla. It's free profits. Pretty much 100% all profits. So why would they get rid of it? I don't see them getting rid of it. In fact, I see them maintaining it to offset the FX currency expenses and other expenses that may come up. So I don't think that's going to go away anytime soon. Moving on to full self-driving, I am saying that the one-time fee by 2030 is going to be worth almost $30,000, like $29,000. Now, most of you guys think I'm crazy here, but if you go back to 2020, full self-driving was at $8,000, and by 2022, end of 2022, they increased it to $15,000. The reason why I have 12.5 here is to get the average of it in 2022. But within 2 years, they doubled it. They almost doubled it. I'm saying in the next 7 years, they're going to double it, and that I think is being conservative. Now, going on the subscription base does make more sense. We just don't have the data at the moment. I did make some rough calculations. You guys can check it out in this video here. But one-time fee at a 15% rate, conversion rate, vehicles with FSD is the next row. And then we got the total FSD sales, as you guys can see here, and the total FSD profit margin. Now, in 2022, it was about 44%. 2023 is going to be 46%, and it increases 2% every single year up until 2030, making it 60% just pure profit. I mean, that's what this FSD is all about, just pure profit. It's a software. When you get the car, you're just going to download the software on your car, and that's it. It's full self-driving, you have it, and who knows, by 2030, you could be driving your car. The car will be driving you places and it'll be regulated by 2030. Again, I'm not too sure. The way how this FSD is improving and progressing, it's a sheesh moment, man, I'm telling you. And yes, I am betting a lot or predicting and believing that they're actually going to solve this FSD issue, this FSD software. And I really do believe that. So with that, we get a FSD profit margin of $38 billion by 2030, which is just absolutely insane. I mean, it could be more if it gets regulated and all, but keeping it conservative at 15%. Then we got energy, Tesla Energy. In 2022, they did almost $4 billion in total revenue. And profits, they did about almost $300 billion. The last quarter of 2022, they did 12% margin, which is absolutely insane. What I'm seeing in 2023 is $7,500 or $7.5 billion and about a 12% rate on that the whole entire year of 2023, and we get $900 billion. And then in 2024, I'm saying $11.5 billion with a 13% margin, which almost is around $1.5 million, and then 50% revenue every single year after that up until 2030, and the profit margin increases every single year. So 2025 is 14%, then 15, then 16, then 17, 18, 19%. It's not reaching the 20%. So that's how you know I'm staying conservative on this as well, because they did say that the energy part, they wanted to match their vehicles, which would be 20%. Now, it could be more, could be a whole lot more, but again, I'm going to keep their word on the same margin as the vehicles. Total revenue, as you guys can see here, from 2023, I'm saying over $100 billion they're going to do in 2023. I mean, that would be insane. That'll be a day to see that Tesla does over $100 billion in a single year. We did $81 billion in 2022, so it's just inevitable we're going to do over $100 billion in 2023. It's just going to happen. We're going to finish off this decade over $750 billion in revenue. And again, this is only FSD, energy, and vehicles. There's no robo-taxi, there's no Tesla bot, and the other things that are coming. It's just on these three things. And they are conservative as well. With the profits that you guys can see here, I'm saying that by 2023, end of this year, it's going to be almost over $17 billion net income. And then by end of 2030, it's going to be over $175 billion in profits. But then we got the FX currency expense that we have to deduct from here as well. And for that, I'm saying in 2023, they're going to be paying about almost $1.5 billion in just FX currency, which that'll bring down the net income from over 17 billion to just below $16 billion. So it doesn't make a big impact. And then next year, 2024, I'm saying 1.6 and then 1.8 and then just $200 million increase year over year. It could be more than this. I'm not going to lie. It could be more, but I am optimistic that the interest rates will come back down and that'll weaken the US dollar and that'll help with the FX currency expense. But this is a big expense for Tesla as it slashes right from the net income. So for me, that's important. Now for the shares outstanding from 2023 all the way to 2030, every single year, there's going to be a 2% dilutions. There's no buybacks. There's no dividends. Nothing. It's just continue diluting. Elon's going to dilute. I don't know. They're going to keep doing this employment compensation, this benefit thing they do in the company when it comes down to, getting shares and all that kind of stuff. So 2% dilution every single year. And as you guys can see, the EPS in 2022 was $4.07. We could end up at $4.86. And by 2030, almost $47 EPS, earnings per share, which is absolutely flipping insane. Now, let's go ahead and find the stock price, see what it would be year over year. If you guys are ready, man, then smash that like button, man. Like, come on. All right, let's go. So in 2022, and 2022 was a very bad year for Tesla. I mean, the stock dropped about 70 to 80%. And the average for Tesla stock was around $204 per share with a 50 PE. It did go down. Actually, it went down to $102 per share, but the full fiscal year for Tesla wasn't ended. So even with 1.3, we haven't reached $102 per share. Maybe yet, I don't know, but it did reach $102 per share, and the stock was trading around 30 to 35 PE at some point. So that's just crazy. But a 50 PE was literally where the Q4 came out. That's where the stock went up to, and we're still around that mark, around 180, 170. We're ping-ponging too much. Let's just say at that time when Q4 came out and you bought at $204 per share, you put $10,000 worth of Tesla stock. You invested about 49 shares, which would give you about $10,000 investment, initial investment, average cost price of $204 per share. Let's see if you're gonna make your money or less your money. We're gonna use this for every single scenario as well, to the Apple and Aramco. The heck. I am expecting by end of this year, because remember, these numbers are coming by the end of this year, not now, like end of 2023, maybe the first quarter of 2024. So literally, it's at the end of it. Very optimistic that we're going to enter a bull market by end of this year. I do expect inflation coming down. I do expect Fed pausing. I'm very optimistic, but end of 2023 at 60 PE does make sense. I'm saying $292 per share and a market cap almost reaching $1 trillion. That would mean your $10,000 initial investment is now over $14,000. I mean, you've made 40% of your money in just within a year. That's just insane. Again, this may not happen. It may still stay between the 50 PE range. You probably will make 20%, which is still a lot. I mean, 19%, 20% is still a good return, but 60 PE at $292 per share, I think this could happen. In 2024, I think we're going to be at a very, very bullish state. I'm giving a 65 PE, giving a stock price of $478 per share. Some are saying a PE of 55, around 400. Still a good stock price, but 65 PE at the optimistic side of $478 per share, and a market cap over $1.5 trillion, which would be a record for Tesla. And look at that, your 14K just slapped on another 9K on top of that of $23,500. That's absolutely flipping insane. In 2025, I gave it a PE of 60 and we get a stock price of $650 per share and a market cap almost reaching $2.2 trillion. I mean, that's just insane. That's just flipping insane. Your 23K at that time in 2024 has now turned to almost $32,000. Your 10,000 initial investment is now turned to almost $32,000 per share, which is absolutely insane. Not as insane as 2026, and I gave it a PE of 55 and we get a stock price of $828 per share and a market cap over $2.8 trillion. Now your investment has more than 4x from initially. That's just insane. Sheesh. So what I'm saying here in 2026, they're gonna do their stock split. I'm guessing 4-for-1 here in 2026. Let's see if this becomes true. I mean, if we do go into a massive bull state, then we could probably see a stock split coming in 2024. And here's a video to prove that. But anyways, my prediction is 2026. We're going to see the first stock split then. In 2027, I'm going to give it a PE of 50 and we get a stock price of $10.61 with a market cap $3.7 trillion, which is absolutely insane. And now your investment from 10,000 is now 52,000, more than 5xing. That's just insane. I mean, that took 5 years. So every year you're doubling your money. That's crazy. In 2028, a PE of 45, and we get a stock price of $12.56 at a market cap almost reaching $4.5 trillion. And now your initial investment from 10,000 is now $61,500. That's insane, bro. Sheesh. 2028, I gave it a PE of 40, and we get a stock price of $14.91 and a market cap of $5.4 trillion. And that will give your investment $73,000. So it's more than 7xing in 7 years. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. And last but not least, in 2030, with a PE of 35, you get a stock price of $16.32 and a market cap over $6 trillion. And now your initial investment that you invested from 10K is now almost 80K. So literally an 800% growth from now to 2030. You see, guys, that's why I'm going all into Tesla stock. I mean, the value, I mean, this is insane. Now, again, this may not happen. This could be half, but if it is half, that's 400% growth. That's insane.